Yo, 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 what up, world? It's your boy Deuce Revolver coming at y'all live with the very first edition of the Lions Den podcast. And tonight's topic is going to be the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show. What were your thoughts on it? Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, 50 Cent, Kendrick Lamar, and Mary J. Blige. Phenomenal performances. Some say it's one of the greatest halftime shows of all time. Do I think so? I think it was. But I think that they were missing a couple of elements. Because from my understanding, what made me tune in to the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show was I had read a blog that said that Dr. Dre was going to bring the Tupac hologram in to perform alongside him and Snoop Dogg on the stage. And that was going to be a very, very iconic moment in history. As a matter of fact, a first in the Super Bowl. From my understanding, there's never been a hologram performance at the Super Bowl, and that was going to be a very iconic moment. I was dissatisfied when I did not see Tupac perform. Although I love Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg had a very huge influence on me coming up as a child, you know what I'm saying? 50 Cent, I fuck with Kendrick Lamar, you know what I'm saying? Even Mary J. Blige had a huge influence on me coming up, you know what I'm saying? Although they're not that much older than me, you know what I'm saying? Only like a few years older than me, but yet still, all of them had a great influence on me coming up as a child. Dr. Dre was the mastermind as usual, and he was showing you all of the greats that he brought to the game that have done it. I mean, on high levels, and are still doing it as we speak today, with 20 plus years in the game, beginning with Snoop Dogg. When Dr. Dre dropped the Chronic and made Nothing But a G Thing his single and introduced Snoop Dogg to the world, we all knew what he was going to become. Just from that one song, we all knew that Snoop Dogg was going to be a megastar. And I don't think that nobody can deny that. Same with 50. When 50 came out, now nobody knew that Eminem was going to become the star that he was. I mean, nobody knew that Eminem was going to become the mega star that he is. Nobody really took Eminem serious until they realized Dr. Dre was the mastermind cooking up all of that music. You know what I'm saying? When we realized that Dr. Dre was the man behind the music, that's when everybody started giving Eminem his just due and started paying more attention to what he really was saying and the projects that he began to drop. But when we first heard Snoop Dogg 1, 2, 3 until the 4, Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door, ready to make an entrance, so back on up. That was it. And from then on out, we already knew what was to come. The Doggy Style album dropped. The What's My Name single came out. Snoop Dogg was rapping on top of the buildings in LA. They showed us the same at the halftime show, which paid homage to his first album, his first single, his first appearance as a solo artist. They paid homage to that by performing on top of the buildings in LA. Dr. Dre paid homage to his producing career by, creating the studio effect. Him sitting behind the boards, doing what he does best. Producing dope. Because that's what doctors do. Kendrick Lamar, another iconic artist. All of his videos, all of his ideas are always iconic when it comes to when it comes to his the the content that he creates. It's always iconic. His music is always iconic because he followed behind the greats. Let's talk about 50. 50 paid homage to that iconic moment when he dropped his first single in the club, Hanging Upside Down. Of course, we all seen that 50 had picked up a little bit of weight, but who cares? 50 making that money. But like I said, everybody iconic performances. The only thing that I really had a problem with is the fact that for such a huge show put together, the volume could have been up just a little bit higher. Could have been up just a tad bit higher because it really was kind of hard to hear what they were saying, but being that we knew the music, we could pretty much, you know what I'm saying, just figure out what they're saying because we knew the records. But I think they should have had the sound system just a little bit higher. Mary J. Blige came out and did her thing. You know, Snoop Dogg did his thing. You know, Snoop Dogg, he owns the stage. You know, he has that star power. So, you know, the world loves Snoop Dogg. Dr. Dre, he's just a mad scientist, bro. He does his thing. He does what he does. Eminem, he's just that renegade. And that mixture in a pot of gumbo just made it all the more better. But I still say they could have brought in Tupac's hologram and it would have made it a much better show. They could have even brought in Game because the Game is a student of Dr. Dre. He's the one who brought the Game into the music industry and made him the person who he is right now. So, as Dr. Dre as the orchestrator of the Super Bowl halftime show, it was pure genius. The props that they had, the buildings paying homage to Los Angeles, some of the businesses out there, the buildings, they had the lowriders in the video. You know, they had the guys with the khaki suits. They was sea walking out there. You know, it was a pure, you know, West Coast vibe. It was West Coast to the fullest. And you had, you know, some naysayers, some of the, you know, much older crowd. Further to the left, a lot of Caucasians who had, you know, their little smart words to say about the show, saying it was trash and a lot of crotch grabbing and all of that. You had, you know, some of the millennials saying the same thing, basically because they couldn't understand. They were not familiar with the music that was playing. So anybody who's unfamiliar with what was going on would have their negative, you know, feedback to give anyway. But we're gonna disregard all that because we knew that this was an epic moment in Super Bowl history. Being that they had an all black, you know, besides Eminem, an all black Super Bowl performance, and it was hip hop. Not many hip hop performances for the Super Bowl halftime. So, with that being said, the whole night was iconic, along with the LA Rams winning the Super Bowl. You had the Super Bowl on the West Coast. You had West Coast performance, and you had a West Coast team playing. So they won 3 ways. You can't argue with that. You can't even argue with that, man. Dr. Dre doing Still DRE. Eminem doing Lose Yourself. 50 Cent doing In the Club. Kendrick Lamar doing We Gonna Be Alright. Mary J. Blige, you know, performing her hits. Everybody performed the hit song that made them who they are. They helped them rise to superstardom. Yeah. It was an iconic night. I got to give props where props is due. Dr. Dre Boy, you a motherfucker. You the real deal, homie. Shout out to all the West Coast. Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre. Long live Tupac Shakur. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar, TDE. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the gang. 50 Cent, Eminem. You know what I'm saying? Much love to all of those superstars, man. They did their thing last night, and can't nobody argue with that. Plus, they brought a win to the West Coast by way of the LA Rams. Great game, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? And to all the naysayers that had their little negative comments to say about the rap industry, about rap music itself, could have kept all that. People trying to compare, you know, other Super Bowl halftime shows to this one because people were saying that this was the greatest halftime show of all times in Super Bowl history. So people had to, you know, slide their little 2 cents in. But I think this one was better. I think that one was better. But when people kept specifying the crotch grabbing, well, at least we ain't grabbing little kids' genitals like some people. But you know, like I said, man, I just want to tap in and add my little 2 cents to it. You know what I'm saying? And give my take on it. I think those guys did a phenomenal job with the production, with the choreography, with the whole set. You know what I'm saying? The song choice. You know what I mean? Everybody gave a phenomenal performance. Nobody slipped up. Nobody missed no words. Everybody did their thing. Shout out to all of those artists, man. I'm glad y'all still in the game doing your thing. Continue to do your thing. And fuck all the naysayers, man. Fuck all the haters, man. It's a West Coast thing. Shout out to the West. It's your boy Deuce Revolver, man, checking in with my take on the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show. Y'all subscribe to the channel, man, Deuce Revolver. Y'all subscribe to my channel, man. Go download my single, Thought I Told You. You know what I'm saying? And tell your people to go subscribe to my channel, Deuce Revolver. Peace out.